Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see up there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to roll the dice on whether or not YouTube's going to notify you when I come on live, you can hit that bell down below, and it really is a roll of the dice whether or not they're going to notify you when I come on live. If you want to know when I'm going to come on live, come over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. I'm pretty close to those start times. Yes, I'm half an hour late today, but that's because I was setting some stuff up. Otherwise, there's also some links there to my pages and all my other social media and stuff like that. So there's been a lot of stuff going on. So much so that I didn't even have a chance to write a list down because that's how much stuff has been going on. There's been cancellations galore, and mainly this all comes down to budget. I've talked in other various videos of mine here that Netflix is hurting pretty bad. They lost about $50 billion, I believe it was, from losing a whole bunch of subscribers once they. So what happened is they used to be able to do password sharing with Netflix, and as a matter of fact, they encouraged it at one point. I want to say around like 2013, they were encouraging that. Not so much anymore. And now, because they are clamping down on people, sharing passwords, a lot of people have just canceled their accounts completely because, well, Netflix is expensive out of all the streaming services, and you're really not getting a lot of bang for your buck anymore. So as a result of that, they lost a bunch of subscribers. They lost about $50 billion, and they are cutting stuff completely. Um, First to go was pretty much the animation studios that Netflix had. They fired their head of animation programming, and also the animation studio canceled out things like Bone, which was going to be an animated series based on the comic. It's the third time for this creator, by the way, too, that he's had something canceled on him, which really sucks because he says he's not going to do it again. And there's other animated series that have been canceled. Of course, we also know that Lock and Key, this third season is going to be their final season. But recently, they just axed Space Force. Space Force got killed after 2 seasons, which decidedly so. It needed to happen because Space Force was just dull, really. Raising Dion just got killed, as a matter of fact, as well after its second season. Its dismal second season, by the way. I didn't even bother covering it. I covered the first season, and the first season was just bad. I mean, the first season was horribly bad. I don't know how it got a second season, but hey, I can see why now it got canceled. So, like I said, there's going to be more cancellations coming down the pipe on this one. And on the other I should say streaming services. So HBO Max, of course, is going to be merging with Discovery Plus. Discovery Plus bought them, and as a result, that's also going to affect like the CW, any DC series, shows, all that kind of stuff that are happening that are in the mix. So one of the things that is kind of good news, I guess you could say, is the Batgirl movie is now going to be a feature film instead of an HBO Max movie. Although originally it was supposed to be a feature film, then it became an HBO Max movie. Now it's a feature film again. Go figure. We'll see what happens when all this stuff shakes out. But on the CW side of things, Legends of Tomorrow is officially canceled. So season 7 is it. That's its last season. Is it season 7 or is it season 6? I can't remember now offhand. I'm actually looking back in what I've posted here because honestly, I can't remember. Yes, season 7 is the last season. There we go. Season 7 is the last season. No, season 8. And Batwoman has been canceled after season 3. thankfully, because I mean, honestly, that should have been canceled after season one. It's just a bad, from what I understand, it's a bad place to work, one, and also it's just a bad series altogether too. So, yeah, that's gone as well. There's most likely going to be some more cancellations at the CW, but we don't know what they are as of yet. Um, we'll figure it out as it happens. So yeah, these are all the cancellations so far that have come out of all of this mess, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. I really am. So some happy, like that woman, and some not so happy. I mean, Legends of Tomorrow could have used an extra season, and they could have gotten rid of the Flash. I mean, the Flash is just crap, complete and utter crap, and yet that piece of shit's getting a season 9 out of it. Go figure. But anyway, speaking of crap, we got word that Avatar 2 now has a title called Avatar 2, or it's actually called Avatar: The Way of Water, which comes out September 22nd. And Avatar is going to be released in theaters, excuse me, December 22nd, because originally it said September 22nd, but it's going to be December 22nd. Avatar is going to be re-released, the first movie, in theaters on September 22nd. Ugh, there we go. So yeah, and as a result of all of this, Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods is actually going to now move up to December 21st as a release date. So it's not opening up the same day as Avatar 2. Honestly, is anyone really interested in Avatar 2 at this point? I mean, I know I'm not. What are we, like 20 years away from that movie now at this point? And it was a shitty movie to begin with, quite honestly. Everyone's coming back to it. Sam Worthington's back, Sigourney Weaver, all these people are coming back to it. Um, I honestly don't really give a shit about that land that Cameron created and unobtainium and any of that stuff. I haven't even gone back to watch that movie. Yes, it's unoriginal crap. Thank you, CB. That's what I thought. So uh I'm fairly sure if I went to go and rewatch it, it's not going to hold up. Alien still holds up. Cameron's movies, some of them do hold up. This is not one of them. This movie is just kind of bad. Yeah, it's not kind of, it is bad. Yeah. So, A Quiet Place is getting another prequel, a prequel. This time from Pig director Michael Sarnowski, and he is going to do A Quiet Place: Day One. Bum, bum, bum. And it's scheduled for release on September 22nd, 2023. There's a lot of 20 seconds that are happening here. So yeah, honestly, A Quiet Place has had so many fucking sequels, prequels, whatever. I just don't care. The first movie was okay. I mean, it was decent. I don't think it warranted all these sequels to it. If anything, a criminally underrated sci-fi movie that needed a sequel, Dread, should have gotten a sequel and gotten multiple sequels now at this point. Whereas stuff like A Quiet Place, Avatar, things like of that nature are getting sequels, and I just don't understand it. I really don't. But anyway, I guess I don't have the money to, of course, finance something like that. Otherwise, I would. And I'm trying to think of what else here we've got. Of course, we have next weekend, or next week, I should say, this week. Opening up, we have Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness, directed by Sam Raimi, of course. I've got my ticket for Friday, so I'm going to go and see it on Friday the 6th. Middle of the day is where I'm going. So, and yes, I am going to be covering it. I will do an Is It Worth My Time on that one. I'm interested to see. I have a feeling this is just going to be a mind-blowing movie, quite honestly. And so all the reshoots, that were going on that everyone's going, "Oh my god, it's going through tons of reshoots." It's not because they were changing the story, it was because they were adding to the story. Sam Raimi has actually gone, he's done a couple interviews, so far, and has said that, in test audiences, people didn't understand certain things, how certain things were happening in the movie because, of course, it's the multiverse, and those of us that are involved that have read comics and TV shows and stuff like that that deal with multiverse are pretty much well versed in this and can follow along to some degree. Uh, all this multiverse things, regular people that have not been introduced to this are going to lose their fucking minds because it's going to be something big. And so that's what he's been doing. All the reshoots have been to fill in the gaps of how you go from point A to point B through points X, Y, and Z. Yes. So I'm looking forward to that one. That one's actually going to be a lot of fun. Let's see what else we've got here. Um, sorry, I've got my pages open here, and I'm scrolling through at the same time. Yeah. Um, so I guess there's going to be a film adaptation of something called Poppy Playtime, which is a popular survival horror game. I never heard of it myself, but yeah, so they're going to be doing a movie based on that. Um, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Um, yeah, if you guys are, if someone knows what that is, post it up in the chat there or down below in the comment sections and just let us know what that is. Because honestly, I'm not going to go into it a little further than that. Um, Oh, I guess, Josh Gad's, the Wolf Inside Me or the, whatever it is that he's that series that he did has got a season 2, so that's getting a season 2 as well. And, oh, sorry, I just saw Rob Zombie's, The Munsters, and it's not sitting well with me. Um, the Dune: The Sisterhood has actually gotten a director now, so this is the prequel, of course. And Johan Rennick is going to helm the first 2 episodes of that series. It's a prequel series, excuse me, set 10,000 years prior to the events of Dune, not Doom, Dune. There we go. Stanley says, "Sorry, I came in late. I have no idea what you're talking about." Yeah, me too. CBM says, "I watched Wolf Like Me, enjoyed it." Okay. Yeah, I'm just not the biggest Josh Gad fan. As a matter of fact, I'm squarely on the other side of the line. I'm not a Josh Gad fan. I don't know why. He just really fucking annoys the shit out of me. So, uh, yeah. Um, that's pretty much all I've got with that. There's, it's kind of funny. The news is like all over the place, quite honestly, as to what's going on this week. And yeah, I mean, anyway. Um, oh, I guess Wicked is getting 2 movies is what's gonna happen, the stage play Wicked. Um, CBM says he's an acquired taste or at least an acquired ignorable person. He's just really fucking annoying as far as I'm concerned, CBM. I can't stand him. I really can't. It's one of those things, it's like a cheese grater against the skin, that's what he is to me. Um, he's just that annoying of a person. So, yeah, I try to steer clear of anything that he is in. So, director John M. Chu is doing Wicked's parts 1 and 2, which I don't understand why they need to do 2 parts for a stage play. But anyway, yeah, there we go. And of course, Margot Robbie is starring in Barbie, the Barbie movie. There is going to be a Barbie movie, yes. Um, don't ask me why. Oh, and so Scott Derrickson, who had directed the first Doctor Strange, he of course he directed a movie with Ethan Hawke in it called The Black Phone, which they've been teasing for like it seems like a year now, and it's finally being released this month. And I'm like, okay. So he's wearing a mask. It looks kind of like The Purge to me, and I'm not really digging it. Anyway, Stanley says, "What's up with Netflix? Are they going belly up?" No. Uh, Let me rewind again, Stanley, for you. They lost a lot of money. That's what's going on. Yeah, the Discovery thing. I don't know if that's a bad thing, to tell you the truth. When I'm thinking about it, having Discovery Plus taking over for Warner Brothers might actually hold some accountability to the Warner Brothers execs, and they might actually start making good DC movies for a change and good DC series. Well, there's already really good DC series out there that aren't being handled properly. Like Doom Patrol is a good DC series. So is Harley Quinn, the animated Harley Quinn. Stargirl was decent. They just need to move it back over to HBO Max and give it that money and develop it a bit more. Because right now over the CW, you can tell it's hurting because they slash their budget, and of course they get no CGI money, anything like that, and so it just becomes a really shitty show. But Titans just has been trashed from the beginning. They try to get better, but it's just trash. CBM says, "I'm worried they're gonna mess with Doom Patrol, Harley Quinn." I don't know if they're going to tell you the truth, CBM. So Discovery Plus, there's a reason why they have their own streaming service, their own app, and why they were able to buy. I don't know what they're buying. If they're buying HBO Max, if they're buying Warner Brothers, what they're buying, but they bought basically they bought the DC properties. They took it off of AT&T's hands because AT&T was bleeding money. And as a result of this, and I'm just kind of wondering now if I'm going to lose access to that HBO Max because of this. I have AT&T as my internet now, and as a result of it, I get free. Well, I'm not free. I still pay for it by paying an extra charge, well, paying inflated charges, shall we say, for internet through AT&T. So I'm wondering if I'm going to lose that at some point. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Hey, word 789. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's see. Evil is going to be returning for a third season on June 12th. Uh, all right. Sure. I think it's on NBC is where that's at or something like that, or Peacock, but yeah, no one really cares. Yeah, this I'm kind of worried about right now. So there was a live action series based on the comic Grendel, which is going to be on Netflix. And supposedly it's still on. Matt Wagner, who was the creator of the series, the comic series, is still promoting it that it's coming this year from Netflix. So hopefully we'll see what happens. Um, um, uh, Grendel was a really good series, and I'm hoping we get to see it live action. It's basically a mercenary. I can't go too far into it because you just have to watch it. It's actually going to be really good. Yeah. Thanks, Word 789. Stanley says John Oliver was happy to not be part of AT&T anymore, so HBO itself might have gone over to, yeah, HBO has gone over to Discovery Plus. Yeah, I know that. Hey, Joker. So yeah, Grendel I'm looking forward to. J.J. Abrams has a mysterious new series called Demamond. There we go. Um, Starring Danielle Deadweiler, and will follow Olive Reed, a woman who is torn away from her husband and daughter in a brutal scientific accident. She is forced to unravel a conspiracy to reunite with her family, now lost to a dark, distant other world, which most likely will be a mystery box all over again. And we all know how much I love mystery boxes, right? Yes, that is the comic Grendel that I've been talking about, Apple Crow. That was the comic Grendel. And welcome aboard, by the way. So, mystery box? Yeah, that's CBM Lost is a mystery box where they don't tell you what exactly is going on, but they tease that something big is going to happen. And they're like, oh, we're not going to tell you because we don't actually know ourselves, but we're just going to write stuff that looks like it's cool. And we're just going to keep going and going and going, but we don't really actually know how it's going to end. Demomon means half world. Do I understand that right? I think so. Because I honestly, it reminds me of there was an old sci-fi show called Otherworld, and I think that's what it's going to be is Otherworld. Uh, so something that is full of mysterious shit. Exactly, CBM. Like J.J. Abrams, something that's full of mysterious shit. Yeah. Apple Crow says I call them con boxes since the writers know they are empty. Yeah. So J.J. Abrams' crew, Damon Lindelof, Alex Kurtzman, all those guys, they are all perfectionists of the mystery box. And that's the reason why I don't want to cover the James Brolin series. Outer Range, I think is what it's called on Amazon. It's a fucking mystery box, is really what it is. And they're not telling you what it's about. They're just saying it's a mysterious thing that's happening out in Wyoming, starring James Brolin. And I'm like, okay, well, one, I fucking hate James Brolin. Not as much Josh Gad, but it's close. And two, what's it about? I mean, give me some inkling. Is it aliens? Is it something? Because I mean, if you're just saying it's out in Wyoming, nah, I have no interest in Wyoming. So Stanley says, I saw you mentioned on the Nitpicking Nerd channel. Oh, really? He's been mentioned someplace else. Amazing. So supposedly Dave Edgar's novel The Every is now in development over at HBO, and the series is going to follow the world's largest tech company as it merges with the planet's dominant e-commerce site, creating the richest and most dangerous and oddly enough the most beloved monopoly ever, known as The Every. Yeah. Eh. 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 Oh man. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, this week, of course, is going to be the season and most likely series finale of Moon Knight. So be prepared for that. I will be covering it, of course. So come on by. Apple Crow says Outer Range is well acted and shot, but the mystery box stink is strong. Yeah, I know. Uh, there's a mysterious hole in that show. Yeah, it's called James Brolin and his acting. I don't know what it is about James Brolin. I just really don't like his acting. It's bad. It really is bad, and I know a lot of people think he's a great actor, but he's not. He really isn't. I always think of his father, James Brolin. Uh, is that right? Yeah. In Pee Wee's Big Adventure, where he plays Pee Wee Herman on the big screen, and yeah. So CBM says Moon Knight feels like it's getting more interesting as a series goes. Well, we only have one episode left, and that's it. So yeah, it's going to get interesting really soon and then end. So Apple says I like Brolin, but the way you mention it reminds me of how I think of Holly Berry. I just do not like her. Yeah, Holly Berry. Yeah, I feel you on that one too. But oof, man. Oh, and by the way, if you're not watching Superman and Lois, you should be, because it's pretty fucking good. Especially this week's episode that um, premiered. They did Bizarro World, and they actually did Bizarro World where you see a square world, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I mean, the geek in me just really kind of went out on that one. So yeah, I was digging that one. Apple Chris, I do need to mention Severance. I know it's Apple Plus, but it was damn good. Yeah, I keep hearing it about it. The Apple Crow. It's Apple Plus, man. Apple TV Plus or whatever it is there. So eh, eh, eh. Yeah, you know how it is. Um, so I guess Sam Raimi in that same interview I was talking to you about uh, said that for Spider-Man 4, he wanted to do Kraven the Hunter, or at least introduce Kraven the Hunter, so that he would have them for future uh, installments of Spider-Man, which I think would have been interesting to see Sam Raimi do Kraven the Hunter. I think that would have been fucking awesome. Because if you look at it from a horror movie standpoint, that's pretty much what the Last Hunt, Kraven's Last Hunt, was all about. I mean, he could have done a really good job on that one. Apple Crow says you got your PS5, right, Dennis? So you get a free trial of Apple Plus with it. Oh, okay. I never knew that, so I never logged into Apple TV Plus or anything like that. So, eh. CBM said, I'm not sure why people shop to Apple. They have so good stuff, but it's so yeah, I know. That's the reason why. And also it's so restricted as well. It's got a built-in expiration date on all their equipment. I still have a laptop. I'm looking over at the laptop right now that is 11 years old that I still use on a daily basis. Granted, it's just to kind of like surf internet, surf news, all that kind of stuff, but it's still in service, which it wouldn't be if it was an Apple. I mean, it would just be boom. And don't get me started on the iPhone either. It's just too restrictive for me. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about tech. John Watts, who of course directed the first three Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, has exited the Fantastic Four movie. He was supposed to be directing the Four movie, and not for anything nefarious. Basically, he's tired and needed a break. He's like, I need to have a break after back-to-back movies. So he's going to take a break, and Marvel's like, great, we wholeheartedly endorse that. We'll find somebody else. So yeah, he's taking a break from directing for a little bit. You know, yeah. CBM says I have an old Apple tablet that I can't even use the YouTube app anymore. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. When Dennis buys his next iPhone, he'll get Apple. I'm not buying an iPhone. So yeah, this is in a Google. It's a Pixel 6 Pro is what this is. That was my latest purchase, by the way. So yeah, I won't be buying an iPhone. Probably never. I had one for work, and it was just a brick. It is really what it was. That's all it was. I ran everything else through my own phone. Apple says Severance is the best thing since Counterpart. They definitely took notes from that show. Huh. Interesting. I don't know. Eventually, I'll probably see it, but just not at the moment. All right, I'm looking over at one other news item. Like I said, I didn't have anything planned out in the news stuff here, so I really am just kind of scanning through as I'm talking to you guys. Probably not the best thing to do in the world, but you guys don't mind. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of Peaky Blinders. I finally started watching Peaky Blinders, and it's a good show. The one thing that's been I was very surprised by was that Tom Hardy is in it, and he has a recurring character that came in season two, and then he just keeps reoccurring, and he just kind of makes me laugh because his he keeps changing his voice every now and then, so part of it becomes Bane from "Yes, it's Gotham's Reckoning," and then all of a sudden he switches back over to kind of Cockney and then kind of British and then American, and his accent goes fucking everywhere in this series, and it makes me laugh. Even though he's still doing a good job of the acting portion, it's the vocal portion that is driving me nuts. Ah, um, uh, Stanley says, "I was kidding. Somehow I get severance without Apple products. I have to ask the parrot on my shoulder to find out how that happens." Okay. Yeah. Um, Apple says, "If I can't put extended memory on it, it's useless to me. So now Android." Mhm. CBM says, "When someone mentioned Severance to me, I thought Counterpart 2. Okay. Apple says, "Outer Range ends next week, so I'll be ranting about it one way or another." Okay. I might just watch the very beginning of Outer Range and the very end of it. And that way I can just get the gist of it. Because quite honestly, I really, really, really don't like Josh Brolin. I don't know what it is. He just, yeah, irks me. Word 789 says, "I'm upset that they're canceling everything, and I'm worried we won't get more stuff now." We will. Things will even back out again, Word 789. It's just right now, people aren't willing to pay for stuff that they don't need because other stuff is going up, like, oil, food, rent, and yeah, we're an unprecedented time where a lot of shit is rising in price, and there's you know, no relief in sight, unfortunately, at the moment. Reward 79 says, "Do you recommend for me to watch a TV show? I'm currently watching Winning Time with John C. Riley." Tell you the truth, Snowpiercer, the TV series, isn't bad, to tell you the truth. It's on the first three seasons are on HBO Max right now. Yeah, the third season just popped up. They are doing the fourth season right now, and oh, that's the other thing. TBS. I forgot. TBS is also getting a lot of shit axed at the moment as well. Anything scripted is what they said they're canceling. Although Snowpiercer is actually saved. But yeah, TBS is also part of the whole Warner Brothers HBO Max family. So they are getting a whole bunch of shit cut at the moment. So like Miracle Workers, I forget what else. There's a whole bunch of shows on that station that are just that are gone at this point. Porco says you won't like Out of Range. I kind of figured. Yeah, yeah. Word 79 says I haven't watched Snowpiercer, but the movie with Captain America put me off of it. I like the movie, Word 79, but the series is different than the movie. Even though they're based on the same thing, same producers. The director for the first movie, the creator of the first movie is the producer of the TV series too. Um, CBM says, so TBS is getting rid of anything potentially good. Yes, exactly what's happening. Apple Crow says, but also means a lot of the hooks they put in feel like weird for weird's sake rather than actual meaningful part. Okay, you're talking about outer range. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Sorry, the dog was just giving me a weird look. All of a sudden, she still is. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, thank you, Word 789. By the way, Death, 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 Love, and Robots season 3 is coming out on May 20th on Netflix. Although I highly doubt there's going to be a season 4 because the animation portion of Netflix has been. So there you go. I think season 3 is coming out just because it's in the can. Yeah. Apple Crow says also Outer Range, the time travel show. They give that away early. They should have given. Oh, okay. It's time travel. All right. Stanley says the premise of the Snowpiercer movie was super stupid, but it was fine for about 90 minutes. Um, it's actually interesting, Stanley. If you can separate the whole thing about a perpetual motion engine uh from your mind and why people will get aboard a train in order to survive a ice world, if you will, instead of just digging towards the core of the earth, you'll be okay. Mm. Word 79 says, I'm kind of worried that they have shown no actual footage from season 3 in the trailer. Yeah, they didn't show any. Now that I think about it, I was thinking about that, but yeah, you're right. They showed a little bit, but not a lot. Apple Crow says, anyone else excited for Strange New Worlds? They promise the show will be different. Oh, Apple Crow, Apple Crow. That's the best joke you've had yet. No. I am not. I'm not excited for that, nor am I holding my breath for that. I don't think it's going to be any good. But hey, you know, to each their own. Uh, sorry, I'm scrolling through here and just seeing what's going on here, news wise in other areas. Yeah. Oh, the Hunger Games prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, gets a release date over at CinemaCon. So CinemaCon happened actually this last week. That's why there's a lot of news that's coming up at the moment, is because a lot of stuff was premiered at CinemaCon over in Las Vegas. And yeah, so November 17th, 2023 is where we're going to get the next chapter, the Ballad of the Songbirds and Snakes. So yeah, there you go. And I believe it's a prequel. Yeah, it says years before he would become the tyrannical president of Panem, 18-year-old Coriolanus Snow sees a chance for a change in fortunes when he is chosen to be a mentor by Lucy Gray Bard, the girl tribute from impoverished District 12. There you have it. Ugh. Yeah. Celebro, hey, how's it going? Saw 3 episodes of The Offer about the making of The Godfather. Never liked Miles Teller, but this is good. I've been hearing opposite things. I've been hearing really bad reviews of it, and I don't like Miles Teller either. He's just there was an interview that I wrote with him where he was just so arrogant, so blatantly arrogant that it just turned me off of him as an actor. Yeah. Applecrow says, my bet is the first 2 episodes will be episodic, and then the Packlids will threaten the multiverse and have a season-long arc. Mm. I haven't watched Discovery and Picard this season. I'm kind of proud that I could stop hate watching. Good for you, Stanley. Yeah, I heard Picard season 2 is just god awful. But again, it's got Kurtzman, Michael Chabon, and Akiva Goldsman, all vying for control. CBM says like not everything needs a prequel, and they need to stop trying to make things Harry Potter. I know. Tell me about it. Excuse me, guys. If you watch the right reviews, AC. I've also had friends of mine that have been telling me about Picard. Excuse me. God. Got a little tickle right in the middle of my throat, and it's just, kind of the best time to do it, right? Is when I'm online. Okay. Just one second here. There we go. Sorry about that. Ooh. Sheer fucking hubris. Yeah, exactly. Albacore says, sorry, I'm on my phone. They convinced the Borg to be nice because the Borg Queen has childhood trauma. That's funny. Speaking of movies that need to be made, Top Gun Maverick is supposed to be coming out finally, and why? 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 Yeah. And Frank Miller, in a bid to be relevant again, has tried launching an independent publishing company called Frank Miller Productions. Yeah, he named it after himself. And honestly, I think it's because no one wants to print anything of his anymore. So that's the reason why he did it. Because, yeah, Frank Miller, everything's racist Batman is pretty much what it is now at this point. Word 79 says the last episode of TNG is where Picard and the crew story ends for me. Yeah, see, for me, the where Star Trek ended for me was Star Trek episode movie number 5. That's where that's where it ended for me. So, yep. Word 79 says Top Gun Maverick. I remember when the movie should have been out 2 years. Yeah, I know. 2 years in the can. There's a reason why it's that way. I'm fairly sure it's going to be crap. I take that back. Undiscovered Country I liked. Yeah, movie number 6. Okay, we'll say movie number 6. What was the one where Kirk dies? Is that number 7? Is that where they try to blend over to the next generation? So yeah, Undiscovered Country is the last one. Although, yeah. And I still can't believe that was Tom Hardy playing a young Kirk clone in that other. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Word 789. I did like the way the way that Shatner had brought Kirk back in the books was that the Borg resurrect Kirk, the body anyway, and make him the new leader. And then, of course, he gets broken out of that, and then he's alive again, and he goes off and has adventures in the 24th century. And I thought that was actually kind of interesting. Yeah, I know Hardy plays a young Picard clone. That just fucking blew my mind that he actually had done that. I didn't even realize that was him. But, you know, he's done a lot of different things, a lot of different things. So, I did not realize that the animated movie Bad Guys, which is currently out in theaters and currently number 1, is based on a series. So it's based on a children's series. It's number 1, of course, right now because it's a children's, movie, and children's movies usually do good, in the theater, and, because of course, all the kids want, Mommy, take me," and all that stuff, and yeah, they do well in the box office the first week, and then they kinda fall. Yeah. Uh, yeah, Apple Crow, we were talking about that, or I was talking about that, about him in Peaky Blinders and just how his accent keeps changing all the time in Peaky Blinders and just fucking drives me nuts, but it also is amusing to me for some reason. Actually, Word 79, there are quite a few things in the theaters. The Northman is out in the theaters. That Nick Cage movie is out in the theaters. Yes, Stanley. Tom Hardy is in Peaky Blinders. He starts in season 2. He plays Alfie Solomons. He's head of the Jewish gang in London. That's how they promote him, by the way. It's not how I'm characterizing him. That's how they promote him in the yes. Yeah, he's Alfie. He's the bread maker, if you will. Yeah. Yeah, couldn't have missed him. He was like a main character for a while. And I don't know what they did. So, because I have the big screen TV there. So, all around his beard, all the way up, on both sides, they stippled in like acne underneath his beard. And at first I thought it was a reaction to having the fake beard stuck on, but no, it was actually prosthetics that they put on him to have acne, and so the beard was to cover up the acne for the character, and I'm wondering if that was something that Hardy himself did as a backstory for the character, which I'm sure he did because he is batshit crazy like that. But it's one of those things I'm kind of looking at it, and you're like, you start watching it, and you're like, huh. I'm wondering if he did that just to get into character for it or what's going on. But yeah, yeah. Uh, Ward 79 says Hardy's Mad Max world fascinated me and I want to see. Yeah, we are going to see more of that. We're going to get a prequel anyway for Furiosa, where Anna Taylor Joy is taking over the role from Charlize Theron. So Stanley says, but I wasn't aware of Tom Hardy at that time. Oh yeah, no, I've been aware of Tom Hardy. I mean, he's at least the last 10 years. But I want to say this is when he was doing Nolan's Batman, when he was doing The Dark Knight Rises. Because a couple of times he slips into Bane. He really does. Vocal wise, especially in season 3. He does it a couple of times and I just started laughing. I still say to this day his best role is on the TV series Taboo, which I guess was so fucking expensive to make from the BBC that they just could never do a second season. They just couldn't afford it. I'm pretty sure Taboo was the one that broke the BBC's back. Rock and Rolla was the first thing I saw Hardy in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what the first thing was. Well, the first thing I saw Hardy in was probably that Star Trek movie. I just didn't know it was him. But yeah, I knew he was in was it Bruno? I had heard about it. I just never saw it. And then yeah, I can't remember what else it was that I saw him in that I kind of that he came to mind all of a sudden. CBM says for some reason I misremembered who Tom Hardy was for the football player with the oh, you're talking about the guy who played Juggernaut? Yeah. Hardy lost 2M for being in 2 million for being in Taboo. Yeah. Well, Taboo, it's a really good series, man. I mean, just a Vinnie Jones. Yes, thank you, Vinnie Jones. Applecross says, "I liked the first half of Taboo, but the end of the season kinda lost me." I liked the end of the season. I liked the whole thing. I really did. But I think it was just because of his just watching him work on that was actually pretty good. That's what I really liked about it. Although, don't get me wrong, I still like the Mad Max, Mad Max Fury Road. Have you watched For All Mankind? No, I don't have Apple TV Plus or whatever it is. So, no, I have not watched it. I know it's an alternate universe, but no, I haven't watched it. Stanley says, "For the first time I recognized Tom Hardy in a movie was Mad Max, and in Taboo. Before that, he was just some actor to me." He does change quite a bit. Uh, oh yeah, Fury Road was totally lightning in a bottle. In the way that um, Miller just really, I don't know, abused his actors in that, or wasn't right, but at the same time, he got the performance he wanted out of them. Thank you, Senor Sticks. Don't you want more seasons of Legends and Batwoman? Not of Batwoman, but Legend of Tomorrow I could do with one more season just to close things out, as I said earlier. And I could do without Flash. The Flash we could just get rid of. Yeah, Fury Road has no it's lean. It's a very lean movie. It's from beginning to end. There is no there's nothing you can cut out, nothing you can add to it. It's kind of almost a perfect movie in a way, and it's a chase movie throughout from beginning to end is really what it is. And yes, it is George Miller's best movie. I watch it every now and then because it's fucking awesome. It really is. And I'm also looking forward to seeing Nicholas Hoult because Nicholas Hoult is in that movie too. He's Sick Boy, you know. And Nicholas Hoult is awesome. By the way, if you haven't watched The Great on Hulu, which is getting another season, by the way, he plays a great Nicholas Tsar, Tsar Nikolai. Tsar Nikolai. He's awesome in that. And I'm looking forward to him being Dracula in the movie with Nick Cage called Renfeld, where I believe Nicolas Cage is Renfeld, and that's going to be batshit crazy too. No pun intended on that one. Senior Stick says, "Is it better than Thunder?" It's miles better than Thunderdome. So Thunderdome, George Miller, while he wrote that, he was in depression because of one of his writing partners. Actually, one of the people that he started doing movies with died, and he was in depression. So he did not direct Thunderdome. He handed it off to somebody else. And Thunderdome was always considered the lesser of all the Mad Max, the original trilogy. You think Babe is better, Stanley? Everything with Nick, I'm a sexy cat, Cage is batshit. Yes, CBM, I know. Exactly, witness. Applecross says, "I need to watch your Batman review now that I watched it. Avoided spoilers, enjoyed it regardless of flaws." So you are going to be getting more Penguin, Applecrow. That is if Discovery Plus allows it now. So there is going to be a Penguin series on HBO Max. That's what the plans are. So there are going to be more. There is going to be more Penguin. And there's gonna be a series based on the GCPD, from what I understand, without, Commissioner Gordon in it, of course. He's gonna be in it every now and then, but he's not gonna be the star of it. Applecrow says, "You need to see Mandy then, CBM, Nick Cage off the wall." Yeah, I heard. Yeah. Yeah, Nick Hoult is actually a really good actor as well. I'm enjoying him in everything I've seen him. Yes, the Penguin is Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell, it will be in the series. Yes. Are they calling the GCPD thing Gotham now? Well, yeah, they exist in Gotham in that series. The what was it? The Fox series. The Fox series Gotham was just weird. I covered it, so yeah. Trying to see if there's anything else out there that is worth reporting on, but there really isn't. I mean, because that's how things are. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, just a lot of nothing. That's what's happening. Oh yeah, that's right. Justin Lin had pulled out of Fast and the Furious 10 or Fast X or whatever they're calling it. But who cares? Yeah, Gotham was batshit crazy. Of course, I had a crazy thought recently. Has anyone done a Commissioner Wayne series where Bruce decides to fight crime within the bounds of the law? No. Although there was an Elseworlds, I believe, that they had done that. Ward 79 says, I just don't like anything to do with GCPD. Why focus on the boring part of the comic books when they should make more Batman? I still don't understand why they don't do a Batman series and just have young Bruce Wayne. And I'm talking about young being from like, I don't know, 19 to early 20s. And he's going out in the world and he's learning all the trades to become Batman. So, you can have him meet up with Satana's father, where he learns magic. He learns about escape artists, stuff, all that kind of stuff, because we know he does that. You can have him meet up with martial artists, different martial artists. You can have him meet up with Jason Blood at one point, the demon Etrigan, where he learns about more about the supernatural side of things. You could have him learn about all this kind of stuff and come into the Batman like season 3, season 4, somewhere like that. And then you just switch it over to another series and have him become Batman. And then you could do year one. uh Senior Sticks, Fast and Furious in Space. They already did Fast and Furious in Space. So the last Fast and Furious, they had the car that got shot into space, which again was really stupid. I think I lost IQ points that from that last Fast and the Furious movie. I saw it on HBO Max and I think my IQ dropped considerably by watching it. Batman is so interesting and it's totally possible to make a decent TV show with, but yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do it with a budget and stay within that budget. You don't need to go hog wild with it. So Abercrow says, yeah, they can do Back to the Fast and the Furious so they race robot dinosaurs. Yeah. So yeah, Senior Sticks, that was the way. I don't know if the current Warner Brothers executives agree with that now about it's going to confuse customers having multiple Batmen. Now they're embracing the multiverse, supposedly, although that might change as well now that Ezra Miller has been arrested twice and that Flash movie is might be in a bone of contention as to whether or not it's going to come out with as much Flash in it as it is now. Because I don't think he's going to stick around at the end of this movie. I think they're going to wipe him out. So anyway, yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they replace Ezra Miller completely with a different Flash at the end of Flashpoint. He changes out. Yeah, there are too many Jokers. I agree with you, Stanley. Yeah. I actually don't remember him too much, Senior Six. The only reason why I remember him because I don't like him. He was one of the worst Barry Allens I've seen in a long time. Um, yeah. I mean, if anything, people remember Ben Affleck as Batman more than anything else. And it was okay for old Batman, but uh, we just need to get rid of the Snyder murderverse completely. That's all. We need an Into the Jokerverse. Don't laugh about that, Apple Crow. They're talking about doing the three Joker series, the one that came out in comics, where they had three different Jokers that were all, I guess, multiverse Joker, something like that. And yeah, yeah, don't get me started on that one. But um, yeah, I'm not seeing anything else here. Oh wow! So it's saying Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness unlikely to get China release following online backlash. Well, it's already not getting a what is it? Middle Eastern uh, release because one of the characters is a lesbian. So yeah. Anyway, no, I can do without a Snyder Joker movie. The Hugelo Joker. No, Jared Leto needs to just fuck off. Yeah. Yeah. Applegrove says the worst part of modern genre is having good ideas done by terrible crews. Exactly. Exactly. J.J. Abrams, Alex Kurtzman, Damon Lindelof. The biggest hack of them all is fuck. Now I'm blanking on his name. Goyer, David S. Goyer. That fucker needs to stop writing movies completely. Man of Steel, my ass. Yeah. There's no greater threat to the MCU than people being themselves. I don't know. Oh, Leto was horrible in Morbius. I don't know if you watch the same. I covered this all in my "Is It Worth My Time" about Morbius, and Morbius was just a horrible fucking movie. I mean, that was a bad movie. Uh, and Leto was the good majority of the reason for that. The reason why it was bad. Also, I mean, the script was bad too, but oh, yeah. Oh, really? Foundation is Goyer. Yeah, that right there is going to tell me no. I'm not a fan of Goyer. I'm really not. CBM says I have zero interest in Leto as an actor. I agree with you. Yeah, he's yeah. Stanley says at some point they have to decide what is more important: Twitter points or tons of money. Eh, I don't think you get points on Twitter. That's not how it works, Stanley. You get followers, you get some likes, but nothing. Yeah. Word 79 says Leto is in a strange place right now, acting wise. I think he's always been in a strange place, acting wise. Did I believe Leto as a scientist? No, not at all. Not at all. So I go into detail, and if you go and take a look at go in my archives, is it worth my time? Look at Morbius. I go into detail. I work in science, so I have a degree in science. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, Foundation, mm, mm, yeah. Albatross, I'm serious though, it's amazing how it goes. Half the show, is good and the other half is bad. Has to be seen. Yeah, well, Foundation, yes, is on Apple Plus. Sorry, the dog is giving me the stink eye at the moment, which means I should probably get going here. I can buy Leto as a hacker, emphasis on hack. Only thing I can buy Leto as is a follower on Fight Club. That's it. He's pretty boy who gets his face busted up because the narrator wants to bust something up that's pretty. That's the only thing that I liked him in, and it wasn't because he got his face busted up. It was just because he was quiet. Word 79 says I watched the first 2 episodes. Great. After that, the show falls off hard. Okay. Well, Applecrow says all I hear about Leto is that he's a complete piece of shit in real life. Yeah, I've heard that too. I just heard he's very fucking weird. But hey, who isn't? All right, everybody. I'm gonna let you guys go for the rest of the day. Thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat, and thank you if you made it this far in the video. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos my vast video library and pops up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also, I have all the links to my social pages on there and all the links to all the links to my social network and all the links to my pages as well. There we go. What else do I have going on the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be off. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And I think I'm going to be doing the Nick Cage movie. I don't know as of yet. I'll figure something out. I still got a little bit of time here. Wednesday will be the season and series finale of Moon Knight, is what's going to happen. And then I'm going to be off Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And then I come back again on Sunday with another episode of another episode of either Saturday Morning Blast Off, the Sunday edition, or spoiler alert, depending on how much news there is. So, yeah. Word 79 says Leto Joker made a reach around joke, Justice League Snyder cut. Okay. Yeah. All right. With that said, and the little dog that is annoyingly waiting over here because she needs to go out to the bathroom. I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the day. Have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe. Oh, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may end up having to find out what the merits are of Jared Leto's acting. And I don't think there really is any merits to it. But hey, what do I know? Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on Tuesday. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well, because it doesn't work without them. And I will see you again on Tuesday. Have a good rest of the weekend and a good Monday. See you, everyone.